my channel Cloud DevOps Sara. In this video, we are going to discuss about AWS IAM service and its components. So let's get started. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management, allows you to securely control access to AWS services and resources. We can use IAM for managing users and their access, and we can control permissions using policies. In this IAM service, we have different components like users, groups, roles, policies, and permissions. So first, coming to the users component. Here, IAM user represents person or an application that can interact with AWS. Each user can have a username and password to log into the console. So let's move to the AWS console and we'll create a user over there. This is my AWS console. Currently I am going to IAM service. IAM. Click on IAM. We don't have any users as of now. So go to user section. Click on create user. I'll be giving name as dev-user1. Click on provide user access to the AWS management console and click on I want to create an IAM user. Coming to the password section, the password will generate it automatically if we choose auto generated password. We have to select this option so that user can change the auto generated password and he can provide the new one. Click on next. As of now, I am leaving these settings as it is. We'll be discussing about this in a couple of minutes. Click on next. Currently we have one policy, that is IAM user change password, to change the user password in his first login. Click on create user. You can see here user created successfully, and these are the user details to login. This is the console URL and this is the name of the user and this is the password. You can also download the CSV file. We have all the details about the user. Click on download.csv file. So now I'll be switching to incognito mode. So from there I'll be logging into AWS console as a dev user one. I'm using the console URL, provide username and provide password. Click on sign in. Now we have to provide here old password to change password. Now here we can give our new password. Confirm change password. Continue to sign in. Now we can see here I have logged in as dev user one. Let's go to S3 bucket and we'll see whether we can able to access or not. Click on S3. Here we can see access denied, so the user don't have any permissions. Let's go to the root account and we'll provide permissions to this user. Currently I am in my root account. Let's go to IAM. Go to users. This is the user that I have created. Click on dev user one. Currently we are in permission section. Click on add permissions. Add permissions. Select attach policies directly. For now we'll give access to list the S3 buckets. Search S3. Here we can see S3 read only access. Select this and click on next. Click on add permissions. Here we can see read-only access policy has been added. So let's switch to the user account and we'll see whether we can list buckets or not. Here we can see currently I'm in my root account. I have already created 2 buckets in my S3. Let's switch to the user account and we'll check it over there whether it is listing or not. I'm into my user account, dev user 1. So let's refresh this page. We have access to list our S3 buckets. If we go to EC2 service, so we can see here we don't have any access to EC2 instance. Here we can see you are not an authorized to perform this operation. So as of now we have created user and we have given policy to list the S3 buckets. We have checked those using user account. So coming to the groups component, IAM groups are collection of users with similar access requirements. Instead of managing permissions for each user individually, we can assign permissions to groups and it will make easier to manage access control and it will reduce the manual effort. Users can be added or removed as per the requirement. So let's go to AWS console and we'll create group over there. Go to IAM. Click on user groups. Currently we don't have any groups in our root account. Click on create group. I'll be giving group name as development. Currently I have one user as dev user 1. I'll be adding dev user 1 to the development group. Select. I'm going to give EC2 instance full access. Click on Amazon EC2 full access. So click on create user group. Development user group has been created successfully. So go to development. In the development group I have dev user 1. Click on dev user 1. Here we can see I have given S3 read-only access earlier. Now I have attached EC2 full access now while I have created user group. So let's switch to the user account and we'll check whether we have EC2 access or not. So here we can see I am into my dev user account. So go to dashboard. So we can see here we don't have any errors as shown earlier. So click on launch instance, giving test-vm as VM name. I'm going with Ubuntu AMI. I'm going with T2 micro instance type. I'm selecting my existing key pair and coming to the network settings. So I'm going with the existing security group. So coming to the configuration storage part, I'll be leaving as it is. Click on launch instance. So now here we can see that dev user is able to create an EC2 instance. So now we have completed users, groups and permissions. Let's create a role. So coming to the roles component, IAM roles are used to grant temporary access to AWS resources. Roles are generally used by applications or services that need to access AWS resources on behalf of users or other services. We can associate policies to the roles that define the permissions and actions allowed for the role. Here in this case, we'll create a role and attach policy like S3 read-only access, and we'll attach this role to the EC2 instance. And from that EC2 instance, we can list S3 buckets without configuring AWS using access keys. So let's switch to the AWS root account console and we'll create a role on that. So let's create a role. Go to role section, click on create role. Currently I'm going with AWS service. I have to select use case. So click on drop down as we want to access S3 service from our EC2 instance. So I'm selecting EC2 instance. Here we can see allow EC2 instance to call AWS services on your behalf. So we are going with this. Based on our requirement, we can change our option. Currently I'm going with EC2. Click on next. For the role, we have to attach a policy. So I am going with S3 read-only access. So with this, we can use this command like AWS S3 ls. So we can list the buckets in S3. So click on next. Here I am going to give name as test role. This is the JSON format script. Here we can see that AWS EC2 instance is going to access S3 service without AWS configuration and without providing access keys. Go down and click on create role. Test role has been created. So go to EC2 instance. Currently we have one instance that is running. So for this instance, we can attach that role. Go to actions tab, go to security, modify IAM role, click on drop down. Here we can see test role that has been created earlier. Click on update IAM role. So let's check that whether we are able to access S3 service through AWS EC2 instance without AWS configuration. Click on connect. Click on connect. So now we can see we are connected through web browser. We are in our Ubuntu machine. So first of all, to access AWS services through CLI, we have to install AWS CLI. So let's check that. We don't have AWS CLI installed. So now here I am going to update existing packages that are there in Ubuntu machine. And so here this command is used to install unzip packages. Click on enter. Updation and installation was completed successfully. So we can use this command to install AWS CLI zip file. So click on enter. Zip file has been downloaded. Now we have to unzip this AWS CLI package. Unzip completed. Install the AWS using this command. Now we can check the AWS version. We can see AWS CLI version here 2.31.8. So now here we can use this command to list the S3 buckets, AWS S3 ls. Here we can see that our buckets. Now we'll go to AWS S3 service and we'll check the bucket names. Search S3, go to buckets. Here we can see Cloud DevOps 45, React Deployment CDE. Cloud DevOps 45 and React Deployment CDE. Our buckets got listed. So this is all about AWS IAM service and their components like user groups, roles, permissions, and policies. So once you are done with your practice, make sure you will be deleting all these services that you have created on AWS Cloud, or else you will get charged. Yeah, this is all about AWS IAM service. Thanks for watching.